Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Thursday, Mr. Joshua with another custom toy review. This morning we are reviewing an action figure that I literally just got done creating. This is my custom Toy Biz 2003 Cyclops that has been converted into a zombie. I've had this figure for about 2 weeks now, and it's taken me about 2 weeks to finally get to this, part where the figure is finally being completed into a zombie. I've been working on this figure for about maybe a week now, on and off. The very first thing I did with this figure was I noticed that the head was on a swivel joint. So what I did was I took the head off the swivel joint, cut the swivel joint off, rounded off the neck, and I even hollowed out the bottom, the bottom of the inside of the head, and I plopped on a nice little ball joint, and bam, better articulation. Apparently this figure has over 36 points of articulation, so that's pretty cool. That's kind of uncommon for a figure that's almost 20 years old. But that was the main reason why I bought this figure, was because the points of articulation, the style of Cyclops uniform, it matches the one from the TV show, and the fact that he's about 6 inches tall, which is ideal for what I'm working on right now. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to assemble the whole entire X-Men team, but as zombies. I don't want to do the whole entire X-Men team, which is fucking 20 people. I want to do the basic Cyclops, Storm, Jean, maybe Jubilee. Actually, I'm gonna have to do her because she's always been there since episode 1. Rogue. Who else was there? Gambit. I gotta do Gambit. He's actually next on my list. I kind of want to do Nightcrawler. I do and I don't. I'm kind of iffy right now. I found a Toy Biz Nightcrawler, which has really good articulation. He's on bid right now for 99 cents. And one of the reasons why I don't really want to do Nightcrawler, because I don't think he came in on the TV show until a little bit later on in the season. But I just want to do the bare minimum, And to be honest with you, I think the hardest figure for me to turn into a zombie, it's going to be Storm. Because, I've never done a woman figure before, converting them into a zombie, and two, I haven't really seen any, zombie Storm figures or any artwork in the comics. But I'll figure it out in time. So with this guy, I gave him a little bit more damage than the last Cyclops that I did. The last Cyclops, he had bare minimum damage, missing head, all that great stuff. And this figure came out really nice. I like the fact how lanky and kind of scrawny he is, which kind of fits what a zombie should look like, because they're kind of starving and decaying. So let's do a little 360 around the figure. As you can see in the front, he's missing a part of his chest. Mangled up arm. It's a sweet round ass. Gotta have a sweet round ass. Exposed rib cage. And yeah, great stuff. So the things I did with this figure, minus the ball joint modification, was I used a little bit of epoxy putty, for his chest area. I hollowed that out, not to the point where it was just a big giant hole, but I like a pretty big crater. So I cratered his chest. I filled it with epoxy putty. I went back into it and I detailed it. One of the tools that I use for detailing things, small like that, and especially the teeth, so I use one of these little, clothespins. The reason I use one of those is because they're really tiny and they're good for small details. I've tried using something like this. Let me get my hands on it. I tried using something like this, but it's too fat, and it's not worth it towards the end. It doesn't really give me the look that I'm looking for, So I did that, and a little bit of epoxy putty. I molded the rib cage area. Then with the head, I had to rip out his mouth. So I dremeled the mouth out, I went back through it with a heat pen. Just, textured out a little bit, and then I also used some more putty and went in there and textured his mouth. So that way he's got a ripped up, mouth. Yeah, good luck kissing Gene with that fucking mouth. Fucking perfect. But, after that, I gave him some, battle damage. Painted up all the damage all over his body. Gave him a mild blood wash on his boots and all over his body, so that way it looks like he's got a stand uniform. That let him dry for a little bit. Sorry. I went back, I painted his face, the teeth, and then I gave him one final, dirty wash, and bam, there we go. I think in all I gave him about 2 hours worth of work, which it's pretty decent, if I do say so myself. Let's see, there we go. No, yes, there we go. I'm getting a little better on doing the zombies. Not bad. And so this time around, what I did was I gave him more of a pinkish, like rotting looking flesh on him. I'm trying to stay away from just regular red because I want him to look like more of an aged zombie that's been walking around. So I gave him kind of a rotted flesh look to him, which it came out pretty nice. Now, originally, I was going to make it look like he can... Well, I was going to make it so that he was holding his head like I did with the last Cyclops, but in the end, I was like, nah, whatever, I'll just do it this way. I thought it'd be a little bit different, more beneficial for the figure, in my opinion. And right here is the bite mark. Well, the bite damage or whatever, where somebody chomped into his neck. Maybe they snuck up behind him when he was sitting there, shooting lasers all over the place. And got him. I really like this figure. I like it a lot. Nice little, close-ups on the figure. Showing you everything that I've done. Yeah, it's a great looking figure. One of the cool things I like about him, it's the visor. And the visor's all nice and red and shiny. It's kind of cool. Let's put him back up here. Adjust the camera a little bit. Bam. For shits and giggles, let's pair him up with the Beast. Just seems a little right because I did these two figures back to back last night. So while we're at it, we'll take the first Wolverine because with this first Wolverine, his little outfit matches the cartoon. But for some weird reason, that just looks right to me. Definitely looks right. Switch him out with this guy right here. He just doesn't look, he looks all right and everything. It just doesn't, really fit the comic or the cartoon. Was what I'm trying to look for. I thought I would fuck around with this Wolverine and see, how good it would look with these guys. It looks good. Don't get me wrong. It looks great, but just the color scheme doesn't really match up too well. So I might sell him separately. I'll probably sell them for like $20-$30, something cheap. But yeah, my team is coming along quite nicely, if I do say so myself. Got the leader, Cyclops. Pretty sure Cyclops is the leader, right? I know that Professor Xavier, he's like, he's like the man, but I think Cyclops is the one who basically like calls the shots. They kind of have like a Jason and Zordon relationship where like Zordon is like the big guy, but Jason's the next in line. So that's pretty much what it is with Cyclops and Xavier, in my opinion. I think one of the things I eventually want to do is maybe do like a Professor Xavier zombie. To be honest, I'm not even sure if like Professor Xavier would have been like able to have enough time to escape after a bite to become a zombie. I think with Professor Xavier, he would just kind of, get fucked and die. Not sure. I don't think he ever became a zombie. I haven't really read that much into the zombie comics, but I'm pretty sure he just got eaten or something, or I don't know what happened with him, to be honest. I'm just making assumptions right now. But yeah, the team is looking nice. Pretty excited. Really excited to see where his team takes me. And when everything's all done and over with, I really hope I make a pretty good chunk of change off this team. So now we're missing, Gambit, maybe Nightcrawler. I'm not sure, but for sure Gambit. So Gambit, Storm, Jubilee, and Rogue. And Jean, I think. Maybe, I don't know. So I got 4 or 5 more figures I gotta do. And if I play my cards right, maybe I can get the rest of the figures for under $50. And that's where the Toy Biz figures come from. They're cheap. They can be cheap. That's what I should say. But yeah, that's all I have for this review. And if you guys like my videos, please like and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.